So, after the uncertainty of Rahu Dasha, Jupiter Dasha usually brings more luck and stability. So let's have a look at her D1 and get an idea of the general life path. In the D1, Jupiter is a manifestor of the 7th house. Jupiter also manifests the 7th Lord Moon, who is also the Darakaraka. So Jupiter is very much capable of manifesting and maintaining a path that involves a partnership. Right? Rahu Dasha, that was all about herself and finding herself, and she was always willing to sacrifice relationships for the sake of pursuing her own path. But we can see here that Jupiter Dasha really shifted her mindset and priorities. Right? She began to think more seriously about settling down, getting married, and starting a family. Jupiter is in the 2nd house of financial security and family responsibility. Jupiter is with the 7th Lord Moon of marriage. It's also conjunct ambitious Mars, and so she got very focused on family life. Jupiter is, of course, also the Karaka of husband and children. Moon can also represent motherhood, and Mars has to do with real estate and property investments. And so Jupiter Dasha was really destined to be a busy and promising time for creating a secure and meaningful future. Now, when it comes to their professional success in Jupiter Dasha, they have this amazing wealth-generating combination of Moon, Jupiter, Mars. Jupiter-Moon conjunction is called the Gaja Kishore Yoga and produces wealth and status. Jupiter-Mars conjunction is called the Guru Mangala Yoga and produces leadership qualities and financial acumen. And the Mars-Moon conjunction is called the Chandra Mangala Yoga, which is another wealth-producing yoga. And so they have all 3 of those yogas in one sign, and also in the 2nd house of wealth. And so that gives them the capacity to generate significant amount of wealth and be a top earner. Now, interestingly enough, on top of the, those wealth-producing yogas, these 3 planets, Moon, Jupiter, and Mars, they also form a powerful Viparit Raj Yoga for Capricorn rising, right? Each one of them rules one of the evil houses for Capricorn rising. Jupiter here is the 3rd Lord. Mars is the 11th Lord, and the Moon is the 7th Lord, okay, which is also evil for Capricorn rising. And so when they are conjunct or opposite in the horoscope, then they give success by overcoming adversity. And so this Viparit Raj Yoga allows this person basically to thrive under pressure. They have an exceptional ability to push through difficulties to reach their financial goals, and this really sets them apart from others and rewards them with substantial wealth over time. But now let's focus again on relationships, and let's find out if she is going to be lucky in her Jupiter Dasha. So in the D7, we can see that Jupiter is the Lord of the 7th house of partnerships, but it is also placed in the 8th house, and there will be ups and downs. Jupiter is not aspected and afflicted by major malefic planets, which is very good. And so this lets us know that there will be moments of crisis and transformation, but they won't end the relationship. Jupiter is also conjunct the 5th house and is able to manifest children. Jupiter here also manifests the Moon, right, who is the Darakaraka, and is therefore able to manifest a relationship as well. there are no major afflictions to Jupiter, and this is looking like a successful time for getting married and having children. Jupiter's lord is Mars, which gets manifested here by Mercury, who is strong in its own sign. And this also here gives extra strength to Jupiter. So far this is looking very good. So Jupiter Dasha started with Jupiter, and nothing significant happened. She wasn't in a serious relationship. Again, the first Antardasha can only manifest something if the Lord is in own sign dignity or higher. And so nothing significant happened in her love life. And instead, the theme of relationships not working out from the previous Rahu-Mars period continued. Next came Jupiter Saturn. And we can see that Saturn is the planet with the highest dignity. In the D7, Saturn is exalted. It rules the Karaka of marriage, Venus, and also the Dara Karaka moon, and can therefore give marriage during its dasha. Now, Saturn is not directly connected to Jupiter through conjunction, aspect, or even influencing the lord of Jupiter. However, Saturn is in the 7th from Jupiter, which is an important 7th house placement, and that connects Saturn here with Jupiter. And so when Jupiter Saturn started, she met someone she genuinely liked, and she felt like that there's some real potential here. However, the relationship wasn't without challenges. There were aspects of his personality and lifestyle that she found hard to accept, which created some hesitation about, committing for the long term. However, Saturn here is exalted in Libra, and this meant that the guy was really committed to her. He was supportive and treated her really well. And this gave her some reassurance that she felt like that this could actually be a really solid relationship, because the guy really made her feel secure. And so she was genuinely interested in this relationship, even though she wasn't entirely sure about the future. Next came Jupiter Mercury. Mercury is in its own sign in the 10th house and a powerful manifester. It aspects the 7th house of partnerships, and it is also here conjunct Mars, who is the 5th lord. And so Mercury can manifest both a husband and child. So now we have seen that both Jupiter and Mercury have the same agenda of marriage and children, but are they also connected so that it can actually happen during Jupiter-Mercury? And we can see that Mercury is manifesting Mars, who is the ruler of Jupiter. And so there's this connection that we need for there to be a successful manifestation of husband and child in Jupiter-Mercury. And so during Jupiter-Mercury, she married her boyfriend that she met previously in Jupiter-Saturn. Now, Mercury also rules Rahu, and you can always expect a surprise. And what happened here was they had an unplanned pregnancy. But even though the situation caught them off guard initially, they chose to embrace it. Shortly after she discovered that she was expecting, they got engaged. And with Rahu's influence, and also Mars here ruling the 8th house of sudden change, it was clear they weren't fully prepared for what was coming. But Mercury is confident here in its own sign and is a powerful manifester, and they decided to have the baby anyway and get married. Now, when predicting childbirth in the D7, it's important to understand that conception and birth are two distinct steps. and both must be indicated in the chart. Right, the 7th house rules conception, and the 5th house represents the birth of the child. And so for a child to be born, there must first be a union that leads to conception. Therefore, any prediction of childbirth must include both the 5th house and the 7th house. And the key factors that indicate conception are the 7th house and 7th lord, Jupiter, and the 7th from Jupiter, and the Dara Karaka and the 7th from the Dara Karaka. And the key factors that indicate childbirth are the 5th house and 5th lord, Jupiter, and the 5th from Jupiter, and the Putra Karaka and the 5th from the Putra Karaka, which you can see here, which in this case is the same as the Karaka itself, Jupiter. And so any time that you see a 7th house factor and a 5th house factor indicating both conception and childbirth get activated, then you can confidently predict childbirth. And so here we got the 7th lord Jupiter, who is conjunct the 5th house, and then we have Mercury manifesting Jupiter's lord Mars, and therefore also sharing the same agenda of Jupiter. And so during Jupiter-Mercury, she got both pregnant and also gave birth to her first child.